This is Jeff Veale, the business guru, coming to you once again from downtown Manila, early in the morning. My first interview for the day, and what an interview it is. He's an awesome guy. He's a fellow Australian, and all the way from the Gold Coast in Australia, one of the best parts of Australia. His name is Danny. Let's see if we get this right. Danny. Wow, that's interesting. Dimas. Danny Dimas, and Danny is the CEO and president, right, of a company called Global Interactive Group, known as GIG. Direct sales and marketing, the real deal, guys. Done this stuff for 25 years plus. Imagine what he might know about sales and marketing. So if you want to grow your business, this is the man to talk to. Ring out, have a virtual cup of coffee. What can you lose, guys? It costs you nothing to have a virtual cup of coffee. Tell Dan about your product and then go from there, right? We're in the outsourcing sales and marketing business. We acquire customers on behalf of national and international clients in the non-profit sector, energy, and many other industries, right? Probably across the board, right? Key achievements, creating opportunities for our people, developing people to achieve financial success through our opportunity model. Personal philosophy, this is the nice one, guys. Best way to predict the future is create it. Do something different every day, guys. Learn every day, right? Fun fact about yourself, we're going to find that out later. It's my great pleasure to welcome to the stage. Danny, how are you today, my friend?
Very good. Thanks for having me today, Jeff.
No trouble at all. It's been a pleasure. Tell us about your journey. What inspired you to create all this all those years ago? Where did that all come from?
Yeah, I used to be a bricklayer. Drove a taxi. We had a recession back then. Got involved in real estate. Didn't like it. I was looking for some opportunity or freedom. At the end of the day, it wasn't what I was looking for. It wasn't an industry I was looking for. It was what I was looking for. And that was to, I suppose, be financially free, what a lot of people want. And I found that in this industry where it was really up to me, right? I'm the one accountable to how I'm going to pave my way for the future.
You're right. So, paycheck, right?
Exactly, 100%.
Yeah, I love it.
I love the commission only back then, those days, because it was commission only, independent contractor. Yep. Here's your stuff, go for it.
There's what we call in the trade, guys, chicken or feathers. One day you're eating chicken, next week you've got to eat the feathers. That's how it goes. It's a cycle. What's been the most challenging aspect of your work, and how have you overcome that over the years?
Yeah, in 2012, so I started my own business in 2002. I lost everything in 2011, 2012.
How?
Bad business deal, bad business decision. I was working with another company. They took all my people, out of about 150 reps at the time.
Oh.
And I slowly started getting broke, and I had to sell my property. And I was actually in debt, $360,000. My wife's pregnant, and I've got a little toddler, right? So that was pretty tough, right? And I'm 39 years old, and it's like I'm at the crossroads. What do? Do I go get a job, which was my worst nightmare? I've been working for myself now for a good 10 years, or do I go back on the doors? So I actually chose to go back door knocking, found my own client, and started growing the business from there.
Lovely, great story. Tell us, what's been the most important moment in your career that changed your direction? I guess it was about that time, yeah?
It definitely was that time, and it wasn't. It was the thing that changed my career was when I went out on the doors again, and I started hiring new people, and I started training. I saw what they needed and what they wanted, and I sort of recognized the work-life balance, and it helped me develop a system for opportunity to grow around the people's needs that were coming to work with me. So it was a pretty profound time where it was the worst thing that's ever happened to me ended up being the best thing that ever happened to me from what I learned from that point onward. So going out there on the field, teaching them how to sell, I came up with great systems, improved on all my systems. I saw the needs of the people, and then it's like they wanted what I wanted. So very like-minded. So I'm going to create a system of opportunity for people to be able to grow within our company and share a bit of the love, rather than being, I always work for companies that everyone on the top earns all the money and doesn't really get shared down below. So I changed that. I flipped that around.
Yeah, love it. I tell people, hire for attitude, not for skills. If people have got the right attitude, you can teach the skills, but you can never, ever, ever teach attitude.
Totally agree. 100%. Hire good people.
Yeah, so that's the one. And good people will help you guys. It's a team, not a staff. They're a team member, right? In your opinion, what are the key qualities or skills that have contributed to your success?
Work ethic.
Yeah.
Having an impeccable work ethic. Do what it takes attitude. So don't work by the hour, work by the task. Get the task done, right? So however long that takes.
Yeah. Determination
and perseverance have been probably the biggest attributes, and motivated, right? Just got big goals that I want to achieve.
I'd also add to that integrity. That's my number one word, integrity.
Right? That goes without saying. You can't run a successful business without it.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Tell me, Danny, how do you stay motivated and continue to innovate in your field like you've been doing for all these years? What's the secret?
Yeah, it does change over time. So back in the bad time, it was my son. It was like, if I'm not doing it for myself, I was feeling sorry for myself. I've got to do it for my son, right? So he's helpless. So that was my motivation there. Then it was like, let's get our head above water. So it was around the money, so I need to buy a house. We've got to get our shit together, right? So we did that. Then there was a massive turning point in the business where the business skyrocketed, and I stopped focusing about the money and started focusing more on the people.
Yes.
And the business quadrupled in size over the next 24 months. And my motivation today is all around people, because we've got this opportunity for people to grow within the company. Like here in Australia, someone becomes a sales manager for me and they can do it within 12 months. They're earning $250,000 a year.
Nice.
So and watching people go through, I suppose, the system and what we have here, and achieving that's where I get a big kick. That's what motivates me, is watching other people succeed together with me.
That's it, guys. And think about Danny and myself. We don't have a job, guys. We got a passion. When you got a passion, you're not working anymore. It's a passion. You get up and just love doing it. Right?
Absolutely. So, and I tell my people that as well, where I don't want anyone coming here if they feel like they have to come to work.
That's right.
I want them to come in because they look forward to being here, and use the company gig for them. The gig works for them rather than they work for gig.
Yeah, that's right. If you're not feeling it, guys, it's okay to take a break. I work 16 hours a day, and I'm 77. 16 hours a day. But here's the secret: I don't work the whole 16. I'll get up in the morning at 6 o'clock, have breakfast, speak to a couple of clients, go back to bed for a couple of hours until my body tells me wake up again. I go again and again. I do that 2 or 3 times a day sometimes, because I've got to be up those hours, as Danny does too, because we've got clients in America.
Yes.
And the time zones are bloody horrific, guys. More often than not, our stuff's around 3 and 4 a.m. in the morning, right? Often, yeah. Right?
Well, my first call today was 5 a.m.
Mine too. And guys, the difference between Danny, myself, and most of you people, you won't do what it takes. You've got that 9 to 5 mentality. If you've got a 9 to 5 mentality, I'll guarantee you guys, you won't make it. That's a fact. There's a lesson for you. You will not make it. You've got to do the old saying, you've got to do what it takes, and you've got to go to bed like Danny and I do, thinking about how can I help that client? No matter who he is, whether he's paid you 500 or 5 million, you've got to go to bed thinking, what can I do to help that guy? That's what my 5 o'clock call was to help someone, right? Tell us, Danny, about a recent project or achievement amongst your many that you're particularly proud
of. Starting a team again myself from scratch here on the Gold Coast.
Yeah,
right. So yeah. We needed a bit of a refresher, and I needed to set the example for a lot of the teams here in Australia. So I told everyone, like, we've got a bulletin, like a premiership table that we have every single week.
I love that.
Right? And I told everyone, hey, look, in 2 months, I'm going to be topping this bulletin. Right, I'm going to be topping the premiership table, and we did it. So I started with 1 person, got to 10 within 8-9 weeks, I think it was, and we're still continuing to grow. I think we're pushing 12 to 15. We've got a few more people starting. So it doesn't matter how long you're in the business. It's just I can go do whatever I say. I'll do it. Whatever I ask you to do, I'm prepared to do myself. I've got that philosophy. So we needed it in the country as a bit of a refresher and growth. We've expanded. A lot of our big hitters have gone overseas. So it's like, well, you know what? They need another new example. So I put my hand up for that.
Lovely. I got to tell you guys a funny story. Daniel probably know this type of thing. When I was a kid, about 17 or 18, I was selling books door to door. You had to knock on the door, and it was a bit of a scam. You had to tell people, "Oh, hi, I'm a young boy. I'm traveling around Australia. I want to find out more about your town and your area. Can you spare a few minutes?" And they'd invite you in for a cup of tea and coffee. In your back pocket, you had this folder where you sold them these cookbooks and babies' books and kids' books, how to do gardening books, golf books, whatever. And by them buying a book, you got points. And you were such a nice kid by this time, they wanted to give you some points, so they bought a book, right? Or book subscriptions. And what my secret was, I was the #1 salesperson out of 24 kids. My boss came to me and said, "Bill, how come all your sales are 3 years?" Because it was either 1 year, 2 years, or 3 years. And I said, "I don't know, sir." I wasn't going to tell anyone my secret. My secret was, when it came to close them, I said this: "We got 3 models here, Mrs. Jones. We got 3 years, 5 years, or 10 years. Which one do you want?" She took the 3. All the other boys were saying, "Do you want 1, 2, or 3?"
Yeah.
They were all picking 1. So I was tripling their sales, guys. Every sale I made was 3 sales. So that was just me thinking outside the square. So, guys, there is another lesson for you. Think outside the square. There is no square, in fact. Tell me, what advice would you give a young version of you, a 20-year-old version of you, Danny, with what you know now? What would you tell him or her to do?
Yeah, focus a lot on personal development. So learn as much as you can from people that have done what you're looking to be like. So from
Get a mentor.
yeah,
Save 10 years, guys. Save 10 years off the journey.
yeah, invest in yourself. Learn to be a leader.
Yes.
Right. I think leadership right now we're lacking. We've got less leaders, I believe, right now. Right.
Yeah,
Whether it's societal, not sure, but I think there's a massive opportunity for leadership all over the world. And define what you want. What do you actually want, right, out of your life?
It'll change, Danny, right? It changes as you grow.
It does. But a lot of young people won't see what will happen in the next 10 years. They can't fathom. Like a lot of them are going to get married, they're going to have kids, but that's not part of the plan today, right? So it's like, well, what type of life do you want to live? Look at your parents, look at your uncles, aunties, grandparents. Do you want that same life or do you want a different life? Do you want a better life? What type of life do you want? Right. And then once you choose what you want, you got your goals around, and then you go out and get it. Right. And you got to think, what's going to give me the opportunity to achieve that? Is it going to be that 9 to 5 job, which probably won't be, right? Or is it going to be different business opportunities that you can get into? So if that's the case, study business. What part of business? Work for someone who's successful so you can learn from and maybe be able to branch out yourself.
And then move on, guys. Move on to the next model. And if you're not going to lead, just get out of the way.
Yeah.
Get out of the way. If you're not going to lead, and not everyone's born to be a leader. You might be a great follower, like a good lieutenant, and you can make a darn good income by being. If you could be Danny's lieutenant, for example, you'd make a darn good income because you'd be so close to Danny, you'd be one below Danny. So you don't have to be a leader, guys, but you've got to be a doer. Right? Simple. Tell me, looking ahead, what are your goals and aspirations for the future, my friend?
Interesting question, that one. I did talk to our people. I've been talking to my people a lot over the last month, asking this question because people ask me all the time. What's the next 5 years look like? And I'm like, don't ask me, ask my people, right? Because the more motivated they are, the bigger we're going to grow. So what we've actually come up with is our aim is to be a $200 million company.
Wow.
Right, so we want to grow by 5 times in the next 5 years, which we're more than capable of doing.
Yeah, and when you get there, it'll go to the next level, guys. Because I had a friend of mine years ago. He was a truck driver with his own truck, and my best mate at the time. And he said to me, "One day I'm going to have 10 trucks." And I laughed. I was at the pub with him. I laughed. I said, 10? I said, Fox has got 1,000, and some of the other big TNT's got about 5,000. And you're going to stop at 10? You're kidding me, my friend. You're kidding. Come on, have a go. And fast forward, a few years later, he had 500 trucks.
Yeah, wow.
The short-term goal in his mind was 10. He couldn't see past 10. I could see the vision, but he couldn't. Right? Because when he got to 10, it was just you get to 10, you can get to 20, get to 20, get to 40. On it goes. And it's a model, guys. By the way, guys, think about this. McDonald's, a billion-dollar company, many billions of dollar company, have got 15-year-olds running the company for them. the mother can't get them to clean their bedroom. Do you know why? The mother hasn't got a system. McDonald's have got a system. Systems will set you free, guys. Danny will tell you that. It's all about systems, guys, and adapting them, changing them, improving them. It's all about the systems. If something's broken, the system's broken. It's simple.
Sure.
Tell our listeners and people watching this wonderful podcast, what's the best way to reach out to you, Danny, and find out more about your services and how they might get involved with you or whatever the case may be?
Yeah, gig.live website. Our American website's whatsthegig.com. My personal email, danny@gig.live. Probably the best ways to contact me.
And Danny's always available. He's up for a chat, guys. And guys, if you're a good salesperson looking for a job and looking for an opportunity, Danny might have something for you. He's off to the States shortly. He's already over there, but he's off to the States in a more serious manner in the coming future. But Danny, you've been an awesome guest. Thanks for being on the show today, my friend.
My pleasure. It's been awesome being here.
Yeah. And guys, if you want your 15 minutes of fame, I want you to think about this. A TV commercial is going to set you back about $30,000. What's going to happen? People are going to jump up when the commercial comes on, go and make a hamburger, grab a beer, or go to the toilet. 10 radio spots in your city going to set you back $3 to $5 grand. And what's going to happen? They're going to play them at 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning when people are asleep. Come on, 15 minutes of fame where it's all about you, because every man and woman's got a story, and we'd love to hear your story. And we'll put you across all the social media channels where with all the actions happening these days, with all your links. That's Facebook, LinkedIn, Facebook groups. Put you across all those channels with your links, and people can reach out. We'll put you in front of hundreds of potential clients. So there's the invitation, guys. Reach out and come on, 15 minutes of fame, just like Danny. Thanks again, Danny.
Thank you. Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.